Okay, howdy folks, welcome to the stream. Today is April 26th, 2025. It is 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the thing that is unusual about this stream is that it's starting on time. I think for the past few weeks I have been changing the schedule last minute, so I'm not sure how much this time frame has been working, but not a whole lot of people are tuning into the live stream at this time anyway, so I'm not sure how important that actually is. But here we are. What we're looking at here is the thread or the Q2 2025 thread that I posted the previous video in. And in that stream, I was discussing how Discourse is now going to be the main place in which I am working on presenting my content. This is going to be the context of this video. This video is going to be posted as a reply in this thread. So that is the context. And the goal there is to get a bit more of a rich experience where, all of the videos along with additional information and links, along with other projects that I am doing, are all going to be in one place. You are welcome to come to this website, sign in with a Google account, and you can leave replies here. You're also welcome to continue leaving replies on YouTube. I will still see them and I will still respond to them. It's just that, this is better. So this is what I'm focusing on. Anyway, in this previous post, I was talking about some updates that I had made to Discourse, and I have made some further updates. And today I also want to take a look at some of the milestones and goals that we had set, or that I had set, at the beginning of this thread. And let's actually start there because the second will touch on the first. So if we look at the very top, the first thing that I said I was going to do in this quarter was deploy a blog, and instead of doing that, I have been reorganizing Discourse, which has been the subject of last video and this video, actually right now. What I have done over the past week is added a few categories and changed the permissions on them so that some of them are for me to post and users to reply, and others, such as Luanti or site feedback, are just open for anybody to reply. I will be adding more categories as I go, but for now this is what I have to show. So I've also made a few posts in Discourse, adding some additional information about, I edited the welcome message. I added some information about why I'm using Discourse and, some of its features and some of my needs. So if you're interested in that, this post is available. We might take a look at some of these at the later stages of this live stream. I also made a post about the Matrix protocol, which is used for the chats for these live streams, as well as several other things on the platform. In this post, I have given arguments as to why I like this protocol, and also information about how you can get connected. But we will look at those posts later, if we do. For right now, let's do a little check-in for these milestones that I have been working on over the past few weeks. So again, this deploy a blog milestone has been trashed in favor of reorganizing Discourse. I'm pretty pleased with the results of that so far. And then this other one of enabling remote network access, I have done absolutely nothing on. The main point of that is to deploy OpenVPN on my Edge Router 6P. And there are reasons I want to do that. I want to be able to manage my Kubernetes cluster when I am, in remote locations. At the moment, I can only access the services as an external user. I can't really manage them from behind the scenes. But I don't need to do that so often, so it's 0% complete is kind of the result there. But this is on my mind. I still want to do this. We just haven't gotten to it just yet. What we have gotten to, and what has been much more exciting than this one bullet point would allude to, is the public Luanti server. This has been quite exciting. several people have been regular players. Several people have joined Discourse and have been posting here. That's part of the reason for me wanting to create spaces in which users can create their own threads for those people to be able to post here as well. Whoops. But yes, so that has been pretty exciting. I've been deploying mods for that. I have been moderating it. There are a few things I want to do moving forward on this Luanti server. There are still more mods to be deployed. People are requesting them both on Discourse and in the Matrix chat and in the game. But one thing I want to work on over the next week, 2 weeks are, first of all, the Matrix chat. I want to sync it with the in-game chat so that whether you are logged into the Matrix server or whether you are logged into the game server, you will be able to see the messages on both. I think that would be pretty cool. And as part of this, that is actually not shown here because it is in a different section. It is over here. Voice chat. So Coturn. As it stands, I do not have voice chat enabled on my Matrix server, and the reason for that is the Helm chart that I was using. Well, first of all, in order to have voice chat on your Matrix server, you need to deploy a separate turn server, Coturn being the most common one, and the Helm chart that I used to deploy Matrix on my network includes a section for deploying Coturn. Let's make this nice and large. So here's the chart by Smallhack, and it includes a section for deploying Coturn. You can see it is an untested feature. And I tried to do this, and the problem I ran into was that they both tried to deploy a Postgres database, and there must be some value in the templates somewhere that makes it so it's the same name database for both Coturn and Matrix, and it doesn't work very well. Coturn just kind of perpetually waits for a database to come up that never does, so that didn't work out of the box. That said, it does not need to be deployed as a subchart. So if we open up that repository on its own, this can be deployed into its own namespace, and that is in fact what I did. And I was able to get a successful deploy of Coturn in my network by just deploying it separately. That said, the Matrix chart didn't have a way for me to link the external Coturn deployment into the Matrix deployment. So I made a pull request on this chart, and as of last month, apparently this is a bit old news. Let me see, when did they actually do this? Yeah, it was last month. Okay. Anyway, so I'm a bit late, but yes, they have merged this change. Thank you, Jesse Bot. I appreciate it. Thank you, Smallhack. So this week I will be trying to deploy my Matrix chart again using an external Coturn deployment, and hopefully that should enable voice chat on Matrix as well. Voice chat on a public gaming server. We'll see. We'll see how worthwhile that is of an investment of time. But I think overall having voice chat on Matrix is certainly worthwhile. And it will be cool to see it be used in game as well. So anyway, let us move on. So a few others that I have not gotten to. Well, actually, we have gotten to this. The video summary bot. I have been kind of using it. So it's, if we look at the actual, 33% complete. This is the actual milestone. What I have completed is basically building the bot. Well, this is odd. Why are these closed? Well, this workflow isn't working, so I'm not sure why these tickets are closed. I'll have to take a closer look at this later. Basically, where this is that I have the bot actually working. The Python script works. It can take the video, it can strip out the audio, it will transcribe the audio, and then it will give me a summary of that audio. The problem is that it doesn't work as a automation using Git actions. We can see that I have one here, but there are several. Well, okay, I can see why that was close then. Anyway, so I have the action here, but there's no way for me to run it. The way that I have seen for executing this on, what's the term that they actually use? Workflow dispatch. So it's this, running a Git action on workflow dispatch is supposed to create a little button over here on actions where I can, start the workflow. But I don't see any way for me to do that. Maybe I have the syntax wrong. Point being that the automation side of this is what's not working. So 50% of the way there. It would be very cool to be able to just publish the video to MinIO, as I have been doing, and then have the automation of Git action pulling down the video and et cetera, getting the audio, and just emailing me a description that I can use. That would be great. That would be very convenient. But I have the bot, and I can make it work by just executing the script locally. So for now, I might stick with that, but we'll see if I pick this up again before the end of the quarter. Remote live streams. This is an interesting one. I actually tried this on Thursday. So I tried to stream from the Luanti server, Mindtest, and I was in a remote location, the Outer Banks of North Carolina, at a remote campsite. And I was able to log into the game server, and I was able to play. I was also able to live stream. It was just when I tried to live stream the game that things kind of fell apart. First of all, the environment was not ideal. I was sitting in my car and there were people around, so I had a relatively hushed voice. My allergies were also acting up because I was outside and there was pollen, so I was a bit sniffly in the video, which is probably annoying. And also the effort to both be on a video game and live stream that video game over this remote connection that I had created a lot of lag in the game. So I got locked in my house and I wasn't able to really do anything. So the stream only lasted about 9 minutes. That being said, it is kind of humorous as a like my worst video ever. Also, it does show a milestone of I did succeed in live streaming from a remote location. It just didn't go very well. And we can't really imagine the first time we try something to go well all the time. So, maybe I will still upload the results of that live stream as a video on the Top Hat Rick channel. But it's a terrible video. So whether or not I actually do that, we will see. But yeah, we did actually do a remote live stream, so that was pretty cool, and we'll do more of those in the future, hopefully with better results. As for improving Owncast quality, I don't know that there's anything I've really done here. Not really. I don't think there's much to mention. That's why it's not checked off. That being said, I did start this, and I am going to check this off, even though it is not really 24/7. I spoke about this in the previous video, and shortly after that, I changed up the system a little bit so that it, instead of running on a Raspberry Pi next to my server, it actually just runs on that iMac over there. I don't know if you can actually see that. There it is. A bit hard to see given the placement of my microphone, but point being, I actually just host the stream from that computer. It's a lot easier for me to log into a game account and be playing a game while streaming at the same time. And like I'm saying, it's not a 24/7 broadcast. It's more of a when I am here next to it, which is a lot of the time. So it is a frequent broadcast of a picturesque scene from the Luanti server, plus some kind of lo-fi improvisations on my keyboard. I'm building out that library, so it's only like 5 songs at the moment that kind of play on a loop. It's a bit annoying, but we'll get there. Anyway, so that's pretty cool. Improving the YouTube video quality. So I have done some basic video editing in the sense that I am cutting off any excess video stuff at the beginning and if I take a pause in the middle and there's a black screen with the please wait text, I have been editing that out, and so that's working. And there's also another side to this video editing that I'm going to talk about in a moment. It's the metadata, but we'll put a pin in that for right now. So I have been doing this. What I had in mind when I wrote this was that I would get some, doodads, baubles to put on the video that were, specifically for YouTube, that would say like and subscribe and things like that. That way I wouldn't say it in the video, and it's just, I upload the video to YouTube, and hopefully within the YouTube editor I would be able to just, add this little animation that would say like and subscribe. Unfortunately, the YouTube editor does not allow me to do that. And I also am focusing more on Discourse. I don't want to add that into the actual video that I'm making. I don't want the thing on MinIO to have references to YouTube, even though I'm saying it in the video. I don't want the video to have extra elements saying like and subscribe, because that's not a thing you do on my platform. So kind of left hanging with that one. I'm probably gonna just end up checking this off later on and not really worry too much about YouTube, because it's not really a big deal. I did, however, create that second channel for gaming, the Top Hat Rick channel. Yeah, I think it's got 5 subscribers, which is good, because I have 2 videos, and we'll be doing more over there in the future. Now, on to this last category. We'll call these the stretch goals of building a Dobson telescope and observing some anomalous white dwarf stars and searching for orchids at Alligator River. Haven't really done anything for those, and I don't know that I will over the next few weeks. Maybe I will. I guess these were more stretch goals of if I ran out of things to do here. But the Luanti server has been so successful that these have been overshadowed. Might come back to them in the future. This one especially is pretty interesting, so we'll see. Anyway. Okay. I think that does it for our check-in. I think we're doing pretty good on these. Some of them are changing, and yeah, this is kind of the first time I was trying to set milestones and stick to them over a quarter, so I'd say we're doing all right here, and we'll see how it goes again in the future. So, these posts I made on Discourse. I don't know, actually, do we really need to chat about those here? I already told you what they are. It's a welcome message, saying kind of what's interesting about Discourse and why I'm trying to use it here, and kind of what's different about the way I'm using it. Also, the same thing with Matrix. I don't know that we really need to look at these. If you'd like to see them, why not head over and you can just read those. I do, however, want to show you some of the metadata stuff that I have been working on, which is a little bit difficult to show. So the software that I use for editing videos and audio are Ardor and Kdenlive. I'll open Ardor we'll see how that looks. This is a big monitor that I am showing you. It's a 4K monitor, and the website I'm looking at, I have zoomed in 200%, which I can't necessarily do with Ardor. So this text might be quite small. So this is Ardor. It's a digital audio workstation, an open source digital audio workstation. I've shown it off in several other videos at this point. The part of it that I want to show you right now is the metadata. So over at Session, we can do metadata and edit metadata, and we get all of these different fields, and we can see that some of them are even populated by default. And these fields, depending on what kind of file you export, MP3 in my case contains these fields. We're able to put, the title, the track number, subtitle, artist, stuff about the user, stuff about albums, any people that worked on the piece. If it's for a school, you can add a description. So you can add a lot of additional fields that are visible in the background. If we go and look at one of those files, discard the session. So I showed this again in the last video. Here's the terminal. So this command is what's used to mount my public MinIO bucket to my local file system. You can actually run this command as well, minus this part of the command, the password file. My bucket is public, so you will have read access to this. You will be able to mount this read-only to your local file system, and you can access all of the files I'm about to show you directly using this command. I will put it in plain text format in the Discourse post, but the point of me showing you that is that I have already done that, and apparently I have not already done that. Give me 1 second. Now I have done that. And here we go. Can I make this bigger? That's about as big as it gets. Anyway, so yeah, I'm looking at it on the Owncast thing, and it's just two big folders with tiny text. Anyway, the text says music and videos. So this folder contains all of the live streams that I have done, both of the Luanti server and these demos. And the other one, music, contains some of the keyboard improvisations that I have been recording. Again, we don't have too many in this library yet, but I will be building it out in the future. What I want to show you is that if we look at the properties of this file and then audio properties, we can see some of these metadata fields. So the album, the year, the artist. This actually doesn't show too many of them. The title. Excuse me, my nose is itchy. And the same thing over with the videos. The Kden Live video editor, which is an open source video editor, allows us to set these metadata fields. So the content of the post that I am uploading to Discourse, so like there's the video and then there's the text that goes along with it, that actually exists as a comment metadata field attached to the video. Point being, here we go. You can kind of see it here. If you have a bigger monitor, you can actually read this, and it's also posted on Discourse. So this is the post that exists with it. Point being that these files are quite rich, and I am trying to put a lot of effort into adding as much detail to these metadata fields as possible. When they go onto MinIO, there is another layer of like tagging and MinIO metadata that can go on top of this. but I want the file itself to, it's kind of the lowest level thing that someone would download. So I want that to have as much information as possible. And then, I might do stuff with MinIO tags in the future. Okay. That's way too big now. Let's see. I think that is going to do for today. I hope you will join me over on Discourse and also for future live streams. 24-hour live stream, kind of 24-hour live stream will be running with some lo-fi music and picturesque views of the Luanti server, and I will also be doing some gaming streams from the Luanti server in the future, this week even. A music live stream is also coming. I think I have it scheduled for Wednesday. We're going to be looking at, which one? This thread here, music theory, improvisation, and recording, which I need to move into a different category. Haven't set that up yet. But we are going to start looking at this. We'll have a dedicated live stream, and more details are available on that thread if you're interested. And is that all for now? Yeah, more updates to come in the future. So thank you very much for joining me. I will see you next time, and toodaloo.